everyone, grab your beverage of choice and a cozy blanket and let's have a cozy perfume chat. So I was tagged by the beautiful Rose Ayala at Rose Ayala Perfume Addict. And I absolutely love the questions she came up with. And thank you, Rose, for tagging me. I really appreciate it. And I love doing tags. This will be my 9th tag video. And I love it. I just love having a cozy chat with you guys, just talking about perfumes. And I loved her video. Please go check out her video. It was just like sitting down and chatting with a friend. And it was just, you know, a really relaxing video. And I also hope you enjoy this video today. I'm going to answer the questions that she posed. And if you like these questions and you'd like to answer them too, go ahead. I tag you to do it as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. So Rose's first question was, what are your favorite types of perfumes? Well, I have so many different types that I like. Right now, I feel like I'm focusing on a lot of the nutty vanillas. And those are the ones that to me have sort of a natural toasty, nutty quality. And sometimes they're lactonic and sometimes they're a little bit woody. So some of the ones in that category that I love are Mind Games Sissa, Lost in a Dream by Navitus, Commodity Milk Bold. There's Tonka Angelica by Shea and Blue, Intimate Silhouette by Christian Siriano. There's a new one that in that category that I love and that I just purchased and I'm going to talk to you about in an upcoming perfume sample sniff video. So I'll let you know that. But you kind of get the vibe of just that nutty, cozy vanilla. Teo Cabanel Oh La La is another one. I'm not even sure if that has vanilla and it doesn't technically have to be a vanilla, but I'm just talking about in general that sweet but warm, toasted, nutty category. I've also been on a real rose kick. I really started out not liking the note of rose in perfume when I first started out, but all it took was 1 or 2 gorgeous rose scents to totally change my mind. I love the deep jammy roses like Tamine Peregrina, Roses Vanille, Rose Gourmand, Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, all of those like deep, rich rose scents. I love Fenty. And I also like lighter, fresher, happier rose scents. I'm thinking of Ellis Brooklyn Rose. I'm thinking of, Pick Me Up by Atelier d'Azur, anything with rose. I'm really into it. And I love powdery scents too, like the Musk by Essential Perfumes. I love that. Just very, very powdery scents and musky and clean and soapy and woody skin scents. I mean, I just love so many categories. Really, it would almost be easier to say what I don't like for perfumes. I don't like anything too herbal, too tea-like. I don't like anything real spicy. I'm not big on cinnamon and I don't like clove or anything that's like overly spicy. So that's basically it in a nutshell. It wasn't really in a nutshell. It was a little bit rambling on and on, but that's okay. So Rose's next question is, what are some of your perfume regrets? And I have done a couple tag videos where I've talked about the regret of buying my big, huge decanter of Santal Blush, but I'm not going to talk about that one today. I'm going to talk about a couple of regrets that are things that literally haunt me and that when I think about it, I almost have to stop and shut my brain down because it's such a regret. So one of the regrets I talked about in a video that was all about perfumes I have complimented on someone else, perfumes I've smelled on someone else. Well, one time we were at a resort in Barbados and a woman walked by me with such a gorgeous perfume on. It was like, sort of like a musky sandalwood, but there was something more to it. And she was walking by with her husband and I missed my opportunity to like reach out and grab her and say, what are you wearing? Because it just wasn't the moment. And then I saw her walk away and my heart was beating and I'm like, I have to know what that perfume is. It is the most gorgeous, alluring perfume I've ever smelled in my life. And I didn't run after her. Now, if I had run after her, that may also have been a regret in a different way. Maybe she would have like reported me or, you know, called 911, someone's chasing me down. I would have had to literally run up behind her and say, ma'am, excuse me, what are you wearing for perfume? And I probably would have terrified her. So maybe it was not meant to be, but I regret it. And I think about it all the time. And it just literally, I think I've even dreamed about it. It's just like, what was that scent? And on a similar note, I remember we were traveling once and we were in the airport and there was one of the security people and she had on Santal Blush and I knew it. I knew it was Tom Ford's Santal Blush. I know it like the back of my hand. And I wanted to mention it to her and compliment her on it and I didn't. I didn't. Why didn't I? Why didn't I just say, hey, Tom Ford Santal Blush, right? Like, I wanted to so bad and I didn't, and I kind of regret that. So I feel like from now on, I'm going to be a little more forward and maybe even just like be willing to make a fool of myself so that I don't have to constantly have these regrets and think like, oh, what if I had just said to them, you know, what is that perfume? Or if I had just said like, hey, maybe that would have made her day if I had complimented her and recognized her scent. Anyway, it's all good. It's not the end of the world. I'm just being dramatic, but I'm, you know, just for effect. And sort of along the same lines, there was a perfume that I tried on once and I asked Michael what he thought of it. And he said, oh, that smells like the lady that we watched in that movie last night who was a lawyer. She would be wearing this scent. It's very sophisticated. And I didn't write down which scent it was. And now I cannot remember. Listen, that was a couple years ago. And I have thought about that and thought about it and thought about it and tried to remember what fragrance it was that he said smelled like this lady from the movie we had just watched who was a lawyer, very sophisticated. And like for that to give him such a mental image, I wish with all my heart I had written down which scent it was. And I have searched the notes on my phone. I've searched all of my notebooks that I have scattered all around the house with perfume notes in them. And I cannot remember. So write things down and go after people. Now, you might not want to like really chase after people, but if you have that moment, grab it. Grab it. So Rose's third question is, what is a fragrance goal that you have? I have quite a few. One is to clean up my mess in the closet, that is my perfume closet. It's actually a disgrace, and I've considered doing a video on it, but I would really be exposing myself for, like, honestly, being a slob. Like, it's terrible. I have samples everywhere, through every bookshelf, like resting precariously, dangling, like things stacked on top of others, stack, dust everywhere. It's a wreck. And it's taken away a little bit of the joy of being a perfume collector, because I'm like, oh, I'm a collector, but collectors keep their stuff nice and organized. So am I just a hoarder? So one huge perfume goal is to clean up that mess. Maybe I will film it and expose myself and just like, it actually would be like having someone keep me company, and maybe would motivate me to actually clean it if I took you guys along with me. So we'll see. Another perfume goal that I have, I just mentioned 2 videos ago. That was my most worn in January. And I talked about how I'm going to take a perfume note each month, and I'm going to take about a week and consecutively wear all of my perfume samples that I own with that note as the dominant note. So if you saw that video, then you'll know in January, I focused on the note of peach, and I took a week and I tested Bon Bon Pop and Gossip Night and Curate and Nectar de Pêche and Peach's Revenge. Anyway, I tested a bunch of peaches, and what I want to do is then put the one that I love the most on my wish list. So from Peach Week in January, I decided on Bon Bon Pop as the top one out of all the peaches I tested, although I love the note of peach. And so I wouldn't mind having a full bottle of all of the ones that I tested, to be honest. So yeah, my thought is, why have thousands of perfume samples if I'm not going to like take them and compare them and narrow them down and choose one and put it on my wish list? Which leads into the third goal that I have, and I've talked about this in another tag video. It was a tag video that Carmen Centric started, and the question was, where do you see your perfume collection in 20 years? And so that's kind of my long-term goal, and I have been working on it, and I've actually been doing it, which is curating my collection to a point where it's all things that I love and that are very good quality, and starting to slowly add in some niche perfumes. And I have been doing that. When I filmed that video, I just watched it back just to see what my answer was. And I had said, you know, I don't own any Initios. I don't own any. And now I do own my first Initio, right? You saw that in my first haul of 2025 video. So I slowly am sort of decluttering the ones that really are not really worth it to me, and slowly adding in quality niche perfumes over time. And that has been my goal ever since I made that video. And that was, I think it was exactly 1 year ago. And I've actually slowly been sort of working towards that goal. So, I mean, I'm working on it. I have a ways to go, but it's fun. It's a journey. And the fourth and final question is, what is on your wish list? Well, Bon Bon Pop is, after comparing and testing all of those peach perfumes, and I did put Bon Bon Pop on my wish list. I did do a wish list video back, I want to say it was a year and a half ago maybe. And I should have looked back at my dream wish list video because I know some of the ones that were on my wish list then, I actually have purchased. And some of the ones that were on my wish list are no longer on my wish list. I've kind of like fallen out of love with them. And every time I do a sample sniff video, there are one or two that are real standouts and I kind of add them to my wish list. Diptyque L'Eau Papier was one of my favorites from one of my sample sniff videos. Soft Spot by Fleur was one that I really loved in one of my videos. Lake and Sky 1111 Vanilla, I really enjoyed that one. Soie Malacé by Dries Van Noten, of course, I love that. Acro Bake and Blue Madeline were a couple that I really liked from one of my sample sniff videos. And there may be some other ones that I am forgetting. Those are just the ones that came to mind right now. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys joining me today. Thank you, Rose, for tagging me in this video. It was so much fun. I love doing tag videos. I love just chatting about perfumes. And let me know some of your answers to these questions in the comments below if you want to. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.